Do you remember the Nintendo Wii U? The one with the gamepad, the tablet? Well, today we're going to focus in on this bad boy because a lot of developers did not make the best use of this control scheme, but there were some games that absolutely nailed it. Today, we're going to focus on the games that optimize the function of the Wii U gamepad. What are we drinking
today? We're drinking Better Than Cake by Singlespeed Brewing Company. This is an Imperial Dessert Stout.
All right, you know the drill. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell icon so you never miss one of our bi-weekly uploads. And sit back, relax, pour yourself a beer if you care to, and let's talk about the games that optimize the Wii U gamepad.
Hey everybody, I'm Chronik Spartan, and one of my favourite things to do is grabbing a good beer, kicking off my shoes, relaxing my socks, and watching one of my favourite YouTube channels, Gaming Off the Grid. Cheers.
Well, there seems to be a lot of crazy Wii U fans out there like us because our Wii U videos tend to do fairly well, so we figured let's talk about something we haven't talked about yet, and that is the games that optimize the functionality of the Wii U gamepad, because a lot of games didn't, and a lot of third-party developers kind of shied away from it.
Yeah, because it was a very unique thing, and it was a commercial failure, so it was only in production for 4 to 5 years, so a lot of developers were like, we're not even gonna mess with it.
When I think Nintendo's always kind of ran into this with developers, maybe even more so on the Wii U, because their consoles have been kind of goofy to develop for. If you're developing for the PS2 and the Xbox, and then the Wii U comes around, you know, or PS3 and Xbox 360, and now you're dealing with motion controls. In this case, you're dealing with the tablet, but there are some games that got it right. Some third-party, some officially licensed Nintendo games, but regardless, we're going to cover the games, and there's probably plenty more, but these are just games we have in our collection, and we're like, man, this is really cool playing with the Wii U tablet. The first one we'll start with is a platformer that I don't think gets enough credit for being one of the best platformers ever made, and you fell in love with it.
Oh, man.
Rayman Legends.
Rayman Legends. First off, it's a beautiful, fantastic platformer, and I think this is arguably the best version on the Wii U. Dude, it's awesome. So first off, you have 2 screens, which that's most things on the Wii U, because you have the tablet. But what's so cool is the tablet is used so much in this game, and it's so important. Coming to the platforming and like the puzzles and stuff, it's so cool.
So what's that little bastard's name? Murphy.
Murphy, yes, the little flying guy.
So you almost 100% control him on the tablet.
Yes.
But you play on the screen, but then there's times I feel like we're 100% playing on the tablet, but the interaction is just, you control where he goes, you open up, you drop drawbridges, all sorts of fun things.
You move things, you take care of fireballs. It's so freaking sweet because you like look down, look up. It's just awesome. It's so cool that they did that.
I think the main, common thread you're going to hear in this episode is it's an immersive experience.
Yes.
It just works seamlessly, and it feels like this is how this game was made to be played. The other cool part about Rayman that the tablet allows is up to 5 players, because one player can control Murphy on the tablet, and then the other 4 characters can play on the screen, which maybe turns into a CF level 50, but regardless, it's still a good time. It kind of, you mentioned, it's kind of like playing the Mario games.
Yeah, like the Super Mario Bros. Wii games, then the Super Mario 3D World games, where you have like up to 4 players and it's kind of working together, but then you want to see who gets the high score. So it kind of reminds me of that, but it's so cool up to 5 players.
Yeah. Regardless, this game uses the gamepad to perfection, and it's a must-play on the Wii U, and as you already mentioned, I think this is the best version of the game. Fight us.
It's an incredible platformer. Now, speaking of incredible, let's talk about my favorite superhero of all time, and that's Batman. So we have Batman Arkham City Armored Edition. This game uses the gamepad so freaking sweet because the gamepad is your utility belt, it's your map, it's your radar, it's your gadgets, it's your upgrades.
Your sonar.
It's everything.
Yeah.
Like, in the other games, you have to pause, basically, or you have to open your thing and it, comes up on the screen. This is so cool because it's just right here, and the game, like, you can still be playing the game and do it, like, real quick.
What I like about it is
awesome.
It feels like it's supposed to be there, because if you guys remember, Batman's got all of his intel on his wrist. So it's almost like you've got that wrist intel right there on the tablet. The seamless use. Now, you've played a lot of the games on, PS3 and PS4, and I think, when you were playing this, you're like, man, this would have been really useful.
Yeah, and it's just, it's more immersive. You feel like you're Batman, What's really cool is when you start up the game, before you even get into any of that stuff, you have to literally scan your fingerprint on the Wii U tablet, and I was like, okay, I'm Bruce Wayne now.
Yeah.
It's just such a cool thing, and it makes you feel like you're actually in the gadgets. It's awesome.
The cool part is all the games we're going to talk about, it doesn't feel gimmicky. It doesn't feel feel like a tack on, and it makes it feel like, man, this is how this game was meant to be played, as this one does. Now, there is another Batman game on the Wii U. Well, there's a couple Lego Batman games, I think, but Batman Arkham Origins is on there as well. I gotta guess that it works similar in that, but I haven't played it on the Wii U, so I can't speak to that, but I would think that it's probably very similar.
Very similar, yeah.
So maybe another one you could pick up, but do some research first, because we can't talk about that because we haven't played it. A game that I think is just good to talk about after this, because it uses it almost in the same vein, is Deus Ex, The Human Revolution Director's Cut Edition, which is my favorite edition of the game. I'd beat the game on the PS3.
Yes.
But this game uses the tablet in much of the same way that Batman Arkham City did. It's your Intel. I think they call it something in it, the Neural Hub.
The Neural Hub, because you're part robot.
Yeah.
So it's like how you control your upgrades, and how you control your weapons, your inventory, your map. What's crazy is, this is my first time ever playing Deus Ex, and first off, it's an incredible game, and I could not stop playing it. But it's so amazing, all the stuff you can do on the tablet, all the immersive. It kind of felt like an RPG with all the different layers and upgrades and things you can do just on the tablet.
It's kind of overwhelming, but it's nice that you don't have to, again, it's a seamless transition. You look down, boom, you're rolling, and you don't have to bring up a menu or pause the game.
And it's so nice to have like the full map, and you can, if someone's shooting you, know where they are, you can just look down with, because you have a mini radar on the screen, but you have like the full map right here, which is super nice.
It is very nice. It's definitely a must-own on the Wii U.
Now let's talk about a really fun game on the Wii U, and that's Super Mario Maker. Now this game might be obsolete because the servers are being shut down, but it uses the tablet perfectly, and that's what this whole episode's about.
And it's still a great game natively, even without being able to do the online thing. And the Wii U is where this franchise was born, and now it's kind of a bigger thing. The game's still great on the Switch, which is, it's not the same game, it's Super Mario Maker 2, but having the two screens is just, it's ideal.
You have all your tools and everything you need on the touchscreen, and it makes it, you can use your finger, you can use the stylus to draw. I feel like it's so much easier to craft levels on the Wii U than it is on the Switch. The Switch version is great, but I think the Wii U just does it perfectly.
It feels to me like this game was optimized to be played on the Wii U or the 3DS. Yes, it works on the Switch. Yes, it's great on the Switch, but it's like the cream of the crop on the Wii U. So another great Wii U game that is kind of a weird one because it's a pack-in.
Yes.
I think you can buy the game individually, like online. I think maybe you could in the UK as well. But it was packed in with Star Fox Zero, which I still think is a pretty good game, and it honestly uses the tablet okay in its own right for multiplayer, but that's not the game we're talking about. We are talking about Star Fox Guard.
Yes, which is a Wii U exclusive, and we have talked about this game before, but this game is so cool. It's a tower defense game, and your tablet controls what cameras you're looking at. Like, it's like, okay, go to camera 3. It's a hard game. Like, the first couple levels are...
It seems kind of elementary, but once you get cranking...
Oh my gosh, so... It's a one-player game, but playing it with another person in the room is nice because they can be like, dude, look at you're not paying attention to camera 5.
Yeah, so we kind of cheat it because we play it 2-player, just because we're not very smart. So we have to have two guys to play a one-person game. Yeah, for sure. But it is a really fun game, and I think it's one you can get in and get out of relatively quick, beat a few levels, and then kind of move on. Again, optimized the Wii U gamepad, I feel like, to perfection. And it's just weird that this whole package is almost been given away for free, almost like some other games we're going to talk about in this episode. But it's like, at one point, you could walk in and get this game brand new for like $5. $9 in bargain bins everywhere, because again, everybody was kind of shitting on Star Fox Zero, which that could be a whole nother episode because I think it's a good game. But little did people know, Star Fox Guard, the little free pack-in game, was where it was at. Now let's talk about some Zelda games.
Yes.
We got, 2 exclusives still, as of right now, the Wind Waker HD and the Twilight Princess HD, which are fantastic games, and if nothing else, those are reason enough to own a Wii U.
They're both great.
These games use the tablet in a very similar fashion. It's a pretty simple use, but if you've played those games on other systems, I think you would appreciate what it allows you to do. First off, these are the best versions of the game, the most optimized versions of the game, being that they're their HD counterparts.
And they look beautiful.
But you can access your items, and you've got your map, again, right there. To your point with the previous game, you do have that little on-screen map, but having the full one that you can zoom in on.
Yeah, you can zoom in, zoom out, and it's really cool because you can access your items as well, and you can change what button is what item.
Yeah.
Seamlessly. So you just drag the item to like, oh, I want this to be the X button or the R button. Like and you can change them however you want to play. That's so cool.
And it's all done on the fly. So you could do those things in the other games, but it was a little more cumbersome because you had to go into the menu and had to finagle with these things where it's just right there in your hand. So it's a very seamless use of the Wii U tablet, and I think it makes these, not only because of the HD factor, but because of the tablet blending, it makes them the best versions of the game. You also can use a Pro controller on the games, but I think using the tablet is the way to go.
It's just so cool. And let's talk about another Zelda game, kind of a Zelda spin-off. Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah.
This game is really sweet. It doesn't do what the other Zelda games do, but if you're playing this co-op, it's awesome because you can both have your own screen, and that's how we love to play co-op.
It is, and you know, the game has been re-released on the Switch, and you get all the DLC, and you get all the bells and whistles. But if you're picking the game up to play co-op, this is the one to own.
Yes.
Having the dual screens is just essential, I feel like, for that experience, because you can go as far as you want away from each other, and you've got your own...
And you have your own screen.
Dedicated screens.
It's really nice to play at co-op. It's just really awesome. And speaking of another game that does that very well with your own screens, that's why I love the Wii U, because it has the different screens.
Yeah.
Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah, it's a weird one because honestly, this is probably not the best version of the game.
No.
If you were looking to play online or wanting the best run rate, frame rate, things like that,
Whatever.
It's probably not for you. But again, if you're wanting to play this multiplayer,
Yes.
we've been playing the hell out of zombies on this, and it's so cool because we don't have to do split screen.
And we have the full map.
Now you can do split screen, so the
it's an option.
versatility's cool. But if somebody's on the tablet, that's their screen. The TV can be the other player's screen. If you just want to play the multiplayer maps, you can do that as well and add in AI bots. And still,
we've done that a few times, and that's fun. You have your own screen.
Person on the tablet. It's really cool. I think a lot of people, if you have a Wii U and seen this, you'd be like, I want it on another console. If you're playing single player, that probably is ideal. But if you're wanting to play with some friends and things like that,
dude, zombies is so much fun.
I've
fallen in love with zombies again playing this
I
game.
think this, because of the dual screens and the zombies mode, makes this a must-own just for that game mode.
Yeah, we spend so many hours playing zombies.
And speaking of zombie games, who could forget this bargain bin dinger, Zombie U? Man, this game is on other consoles, but there's a game mode in here now. First off, the Wii U gamepad can be used in the single-player game mode, and it uses it fairly well. It uses it for your hacking, your
weapon inventory.
You can use it to like snipe, which is
really
cool. Yeah, inventory management. You can also craft weapons on the tablet. All that's cool. But where this game really thrives is in the co-op horde mode, which, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the co-op piece in this form is only available on the Wii, so it's exclusive.
The multiplayer in this is only on the Wii U, so this game is available on other consoles, but they don't have the multiplayer mode. Dude, the multiplayer mode on this is insane. It's so cool. Here's basically what it is. So whoever has the tablet is like the mastermind or like the guy that's in charge of the zombies, and they have an overview map of whatever map you're playing, and they drop in zombies. You can upgrade your zombies. You can send out different types of zombies.
Plotting your point,
plotting them out,
style.
and you're just trying to win. And then the other player, the people playing on the TV, it's like a first-person shooter. It's like you're playing Call of Duty Zombies, and you're just trying to take down... There's different game modes. We were doing Capture the Flag.
Ton of fun.
And I just keep sending zombies, and you keep killing zombies. It's so cool, because I look up, and I'm like, dude, that's what you see? Like, it's so cool.
And what's really fun is it's like two complete different games for whichever role you are playing. Like, you're really good at that mastermind role. I'm pretty good at the other roles. Switch it around, and I'm horrible. It's like it's not even a fair game when I'm playing that, but the other way, it's like it's pretty competitive. So it's kind of like you find your niche, however you want to say it, and you can roll with it, have a lot of fun. Dude, zombies, or the Zombie U horde mode, it's up there with being as fun as Nazi zombies on Call of Duty. Maybe not quite, but it's damn close.
Not quite, but it's a Wii U exclusive that uses the tablet perfect.
Okay, another weird one here. Not the best version of the game, but it uses the tablet in a way that I have never played this game before.
It's so cool.
And I've been playing this game religiously since '98. Madden 13 happens to be the only Madden that the Wii U ever saw. What this game does on the tablet is unbelievable.
It's awesome.
So around this time frame is when they started using those Microsoft tablets on the sidelines. So I'm wondering if that's where the idea came in when it was in development. But you call your plays on the tablet. Okay, that seems logical. That seems like what they would do. Here is where shit gets crazy. You can call your hot routes on the tablet, and you draw the route.
You draw your route, and they run whatever you draw.
So if you're a Madden connoisseur, you know that you've always had a vertical. You can do a stop route, an out route. You can do a comeback and a fade. And then if you get like a perk on your player, you can add 4 more routes to the player. You can run smart routes to the sticks. On this, you draw whatever route you want, and they run it. So you can do Z routes. You can do Texas routes.
You can just do squiggles, and they'll do it.
Yeah.
It's so... I'm not even a big Madden fan, and I was watching you play this, and I was like, dude, this is so cool. I mean, you do have to be kind of quick when you're doing it. That's the only drawback.
Yeah, because the play clock's
Because the play clock, but it's still really cool that they did that.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, like, just for the fun factor. Now, if I was playing competitively, I would not play the Wii U version, but it's just a fun, interactive interface that was like, wow, EA took time to differentiate the Wii U version from its other counterparts. So, Madden 13, if you're a Madden fan, you just need to experience it for that, because it's a lot of fun.
It's so fascinating. Speaking of a lot of fun, let's talk about Nintendo Land, which is a fantastic Wii U exclusive.
Yep.
And what a fun party game.
Yep.
It uses the Wii U tablet in so many different ways, so many different mini games. Nintendo Land, so much freaking fun.
I like it more than Wii Sports, which may be controversial, but I really,
hands down,
seriously do.
There's so many games.
And this game is like the ultimate tech demo for the tablet.
Yes.
There's a lot of mini games, some 1-player, some 2-player. Again, it usually ends up with someone on the tablet. My favorite one is the Luigi's Mansion
that
one.
one's really cool.
Because you're the ghost on the tablet, and then the other player is on the screen. Now, of course, if you're a cheater like Robert is, you can screen watch and do things like that, but that's besides the point. It's just an awesome way to play, and then, you know, I remember the level, it was like a maze, and you have to tilt the level.
Oh my
and
gosh,
you were like,
that one was so hard. You have to tilt the tablet. What's cool is this is up to 4 players, so you can do that Luigi's Mansion thing and have 4 people, and then the like, it's just, there's so many games. This game's beautiful. It's
dirt cheap,
It's an
too.
ode to like all the classic Nintendo titles. Ah, man, it's fun.
Most
Dude,
places are giving this game away, literally damn near for free.
so much fun. And this next game we're talking about, it reminds me a lot of Nintendo Land, but it's more niche and more weird. And that's Game & Wario. We've talked about this game before, but this is another mini game, party game.
And it's exclusive to the Wii U.
Yes, dude, this game is so much fun. You can do so many crazy things with the Wii U tablet. It's just an awesome party game, and the tablet is used in so many different ways. It's used to throw arrows. It's used for a camera. Like, it's just, it's awesome.
You can draw pictures on it for the different mini games. And if you were a fan of, is it Wario Smooth Moves that we really like on the Wii?
Yeah.
Just goofy interaction where I felt like, and I'm sure a lot of you did as well, that it used the Wiimote so well in that, where you have to like bounce at various things. This game brings that same use to the tablet, to the Wii U,
And
which
there's
is
just
amazing.
so many different mini games where it's like, okay, turn the tablet sideways, turn it right, face it up, face it down. It's so much fun.
Yep, absolutely. All the games in this episode are in physical form except for one.
Yes.
We have Dads and Lads Gaming to thank for telling us about this game. It's a digital download only, one of the quirkiest games I've ever played, and it's amazing, and it's called Affordable Space Adventure.
Oh my gosh, this game is incredible, and it's a 3-player co-op game, and it uses the tablet so well, because the tablet is the control mechanism for the spaceship.
Yeah.
It controls the lights, the engines. It's who's ever in charge of the tablet, you're like in charge of mission control. And what I love about Affordable Space Adventure is not only is the tablet super important, everyone has to work together.
Yeah, so when Robert says he's controlling the ship, the person with the tablet is only controlling the lighting, which you have a limited battery, and the thrust of the ship,
Yes,
like the speed.
like the engine levels and stuff, and they gotta watch and be like, oh, it's overheating.
Yep. So that puts the burden of driving the thing on another player, which makes it just so weird because you drive different depending on how fast you're going.
Yeah,
if
so
he
you-
pumps the brakes and you're thinking you're going here, well, all of a sudden you're going there.
You have to communicate,
Yeah.
and this game, it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
It's so unique, and I love co-op, especially 3-player co-op games.
It is definitely the hidden gem of all hidden gems, and it might use the tablet interface better than any game we talk about today, just because it's just awesome. It's such a good 3-player game. If you can play it, you can obviously play it without 3 players, but that is just the best way. It takes 3 people working harmoniously
To control one chip.
It's just amazing.
it's
You're gonna
awesome.
have to try that one out. Okay, we've talked about this game before on the channel, but this is the best version of the game, and this is very hard to argue because this game doesn't need a lot of power to run.
Nope.
It's Axiom Verge.
Oh my god.
Metroidvania style game by Thomas Happ. And this game is a beautiful game, and where this game thrives on the Wii U is the simple component that you've got your map.
Yes, that's so important.
And it's a Metroidvania game. You guys know how twisted and turned around you can get in those type of games, but when you've got your map, map right down below. It's a huge asset. If you play this game on the PS4, which we actually owned on the PS4, you gotta pause it every time you want to look at your map.
And that gets frustrating.
This is just real time. You're playing, boom, I'm looking at my map. And then you can also check or change between your guns. You can also add that to a button
seamlessly.
So you don't have to use the tablet to change your weapons, but it is a nice, just boom, I hit the icon, I have that weapon or that attack. But Axiom Verge on the Wii U, you can still get this. I would say strike the iron while it's hot. This was a limited run game, and I think this game is going to be super collectible someday. It already is starting to rise in price, but if this is the type of game you're into, you want to grab this. A lot of these other ones we're talking about, low-hanging fruit, super cheap, but this one is one that if you don't get it here soon, it might be a ship that sails, and you'll always probably be able to grab it on other consoles or at the digital store or whatever, but optimum version is the Wii U.
It's so much fun, and it makes me so excited for the second one.
Yeah.
That's coming out this year, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited for that. And speaking of Axiom Verge, I'm on the verge of taking a sip of my beer.
Well, I guess I'll just start off this beer review then, since you're going to be preoccupied. So this beer is by Singlespeed Brewery. I believe it is in Cedar Falls or Waterloo, Iowa. Okay. So it's called Better Than Cake, which I think is a play on, because of the layers here, better than making love cake, better than sex cake, whatever you want to call it. I said it, dude. I don't freaking care. I don't care. I don't care if we get flagged or whatever. But let's talk about the brew. This is a really good stout. It's an imperial stout.
It's an imperial dessert stout with chocolate, pecan, and coconut. It comes in at 9%, which is crazy because it does not taste like it comes in 9%.
Yeah.
I mean, it does have a nice heavy taste to it. I really like this.
Yeah.
I feel like the chocolatey flavor is like the dominant flavor.
Yep.
And then once it's getting closer to room temperature, that coconut's coming through.
It's getting creamier.
That pecan's coming through. This is really good.
Yeah, Singlespeed is a great brew. We've had several from them that have been very good, serviceable brews. Not the best imperial I've ever had, but it does deliver. When I read the can, and I'm like, this sounds good. Boom, that's what I have in the glass. And great job. I got an old friend that actually is a brewer. I think the master brewer there. So I haven't talked to him for years, but maybe he'll see this video one day and be like, here's my old buddy Wes. Who knows? But anyway, guys, the Wii U. We love it. Seems like you guys love it because those videos seem to do very well. I think there's kind of a cult following for the Wii U.
The Wii U's badass.
As there should be. But the tablet kind of gets shit on sometimes, and it wasn't used to the best of its abilities.
And a lot of game developers just ignored it.
Yeah, but the games we talked about definitely pushed its potential, which is really cool. So you might want to pick some of these up. In the comment section below, there's got to be more games that utilize the tablet very well. We only talk about the games we own and have played, and we don't own them all. So there's probably other ones out there that you're like, oh shit, you should try this, and then you'll make us get on eBay and probably spend our money, because you guys seem to do that a lot. But we love you for it, and we always appreciate you guys tuning in and subscribing to the channel. Now get out of here and go play some Wii U. We'll see you around right here on Gaming Off the Grid. Any way you slice it, the Wii U was a commercial failure.
Slice. Quick when you're doing it, that's the only drawback.
Yeah, because the play clock's
running. Because the play cock.
Any way you slice it, Nintendo's Wii U was a commercial failure. Folks, maybe...
And speaking of fun, let's... Is that
I would say, speaking of Axiom Verge, I'm on the verge of taking it. Something like that. Do you remember the Wii U? Yeah, that game.
Yeah, that game.
We've got this beer, which we're trying to not cuss anymore, so we're going to call it Better Than SEXX Cake.
SE double huggy six.
That's dumb.